We're here with BRYAN Hayes. Brian, how proud is your father of you, seeing you watch him play in the major leagues, man?
Yeah, I mean, he's just super proud of me because he just knows how hard I work, all the hours that I've spent with him, travel ball tournaments, traveling, just coming through high school. Just anytime I want to hit or do baseball, he's there for me. So I'm just super appreciative of that. And for him to be able to play as long as he did and to be able
All
to
that knowledge.
pass the knowledge down to me, just been all open ears from him and my brother ever since I was little. So.
Now, when did you realize, man, that you wanted to be just as good as your father?
Since I was super little. As soon as I knew, like, once I figured out that he played, like, I'm gonna get a World Series ring too, and I'm gonna be better than you someday.
So how was the conversations? I'm sure when you were eating, what did you go into his mind? Tell him, how did you do this? How did you do that? What was your plan of thought? What were you thinking? And this at bat and your thought process. That
As
must
far
have been
as like
something.
game to game, or
Yeah, game situations, stuff like that. Every day, you just.
oh yeah, I mean, a lot of times like in the off season, I'll do situations like after I do like my normal work, and then towards the end, like I'll basically have like at bats. I just like to throw that in as far as like how a pitcher might pitch me that at bat with certain runners on certain bases and stuff like that.
Now, I'm sure when you were growing up, there was some kind of pressure, peer pressure or one another, because every time they say, well, you know what, that's Chalie Hayes' son, and you probably had to do work a little harder than everybody else to get you some, hey, you deserve to play.
Yeah, one thing he always told me, like, there's no such thing as pressure when it comes to baseball.
He should know.
Yeah, he said pressure is like whenever you don't know when you're going to get your next meal. So, I mean, he just always told me to work hard and have fun with it. Try to get better each and every day.
Now, when you got your call up to the major league, man, how was that conversation when you told him, hey, Pops, I'm being called up? How was that?
Yeah. I called him and my mom, and whenever I told them, I mean, they were just super excited. My mom was jumping up and down just because they know how hard. This is what I've worked for my whole life. I've missed out on all the parties and all that stuff because I wanted to get to this level and stay at this level. So
now, when you got to the major league, he probably told you, hey, listen, man, now that you're in the big, now that you're a man, this is the way you got to carry yourself. What was that conversation like?
Yeah, I mean, he knows that I go about it the right way. Just from a young age, him and my brother, they've always instilled that in me. As far as even when I was playing travel ball and all that, like, be there early, get your work in.
Don't show nobody up, do your work, and play hard.
Yeah, and then I'm super reserved, so I just go out there, go about my business, and then take it home, and then come back ready for the next day.
Brian, let me ask you something. Your father taught you catch, hit, run, throw. Mm-hmm. Do you think that sometimes there's a lot of information thrown at you from that is hard to process with all the stuff that's going on right now, with all the analytics and the shift and all that stuff? Is that too much sometimes to process?
I mean, I don't too much pay attention to it.
You go out and do your thing.
Yeah, I just go out there. I mean, whenever you hit a ball hard, I just try to go out there, have good at bats, and then whenever I go on defense, I try to make every play for my team. So, but yeah, here lately, like, the analytics become real huge in the game, and but I just like to keep it simple because, I mean, if you're thinking about all that while trying to hit 98, it's not going to really go well for you. So, I mean, I do look at a little bit of that stuff in the off season, but during the season, I just look at how early I'm getting started to be ready for putting my body in the best hitting position where I can catch the ball out front and drive it.
Hey, brother, listen, man. Your pops was a champ. Yes, inside the field, man, and outside, man. So I'm sure you're also, man. And good luck, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Man, and keep doing your thing, brother.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, same here, man. Pleasure being next to you, man.
Thank you.
Charles Hayes. Charles, there's much about saying about the game right now when they talk about the analytics and all that stuff. When you played, they didn't have all that information stuck in your head that you had to process, did they?
Well, I think you took it upon yourself to learn certain things. I think analytics have always been around. It just wasn't a name for it. And you just got to be smart. And,
That's what it was.
you know, like I said, it's part of the game. I can't say I like it or I can't say I don't like it because I love baseball so much. But you just got to be smart. I mean, we all in our everyday life get a lot of information. And I think the one of us that succeed are the ones that know how to process it. So, you know, with my kid, I just say, hey, listen to everybody, be smart enough to take out of the conversation what's going to benefit you and what's going to progress you, and then the rest of it, throw it out. So,
Hey, that's the best advice you can give them. Now, when did you realize, man, that you had the talent out here with Bryan?
you know, baseball is so delicate that one of the things that it had nothing to do with on the field. We were at a game one night, and a batter hit a home run, and I said, man, you see how far he hit that ball? And he said, yeah, but did you see how fast his hips turn? So you don't hear that from your normal, everyday 12, 13-year-old kid. And that kind of stuck with me. And then the only thing I did was try to put him in the proper position to be successful, and told him that the only thing that matters is that you try to get better each and every day, and if you do that, you'll be successful.
Now, I was talking to him earlier, and he was telling me that he had a lot of conversations, you know, about the game and stuff like that. That must be fulfilling when you could talk to your son and he could process, and you know that he's processing that about the game that you just say yourself that you love so much.
Yeah, I think every lunch, dinner we had together as a family, it was about baseball. We were so fortunate, all of us, because of my wife, because she was she's a baseball person too. So that, and I think having an older sibling that loved baseball that also played in the minor leagues.
And having you around, brother, that hey, you can't get any better than that.
Yeah. For the most part, honestly, I try to stay out of the way and just watch him. Like I said earlier, you're only gonna be as good as you think you are, no matter what I think. You gotta want it. I can't want it bad as he wanted. And in his case, it's never been that. He's always loved baseball. I remember him graduating like at 4 o'clock one day, and at 4:45 he was in the batting cage. So that's how he's been. He's been relentless.
And laid back, man. He's really, you know, you got a class act there, brother.
Yeah, he's a good kid. He's really quiet. I give all the credit to my wife because without her being the backbone of the family, I don't think any of us would be as successful as we've been.
Lastly, you know what? I'm sure that he must have had a lot of pressure growing up. Every time that he took the field, people would say, man, that's Chalie Hayes' son. That's Chalie Hayes' son. You think that made him work a little extra harder to...
Honestly, nah. I think just from, like I was telling you earlier, the conversations that we used to have at the dinner table about baseball and stuff, and how fortunate we were to be in the situation that we were in. One of the things that I used to talk about to all the boys was that baseball isn't pressure. Pressure is when you don't know where your next meal is going to come from.
That's exactly what he told me.
He remembered it, and I think he applies that to everything. I'm sure, you know, with the way the game is now, he puts a little pressure on himself, but I think he puts pressure on himself to be better than he was yesterday, and I think that's the proper way to do it.
My brother, listen, man, just like I told him, you're a champ outside baseball field, man, and inside the baseball field, and you got a class act, man. It says a lot about you when you got a class kid like your son, man.
Well, man, you know what? I'm blessed,
Certainly are.
and you know, I try to pass it forward, all my trials and tribulations, and you know, like Jackie said, if you're not making a difference in someone's life, then what are you doing? And that's what I always think about, trying to make it better for not only myself, but for everybody else that I run across, and just try to stay positive. It's tough times now, and like I said, just try to be a good person, and that's what I try to do every day, and make a difference in somebody's life. You never know. One of the things I try not to do is judge others, because you don't know what people are going through, and so I just try to be positive, work my butt off, and anything I can do to make it better for someone else, or if something they do jumps off before mine do, it's okay to stand up and clap. And I think we as a nation needs to be more caring and love each other more.
I'm going to take it one step further, man. Ali said, the service to others is the rent you pay here on earth.
I like that.
There
Thank
go.
you.
See you good, man. Be safe, bro.